Hello and welcome back to JankTech. It's my series on Star Wars Unlimited with a focus on non-sweaty formats, Twin Suns in particular, but now we can add Jar Jar format to the mix. This is a companion video to the video that dropped, well, the same day. That was the teaching video. That's the one you can see behind me right over here. And this is the one where I show you what I put in my Jar Jar deck, how you can change it to meet your needs, all that fun stuff. Before we get it going, if y'all could please like and subscribe. We don't want any disintegrations. Thanks so much for the support. And who knows, if enough people like Jar Jar, maybe we can do a video with actual gameplay, because this one is a hoot. One last thing before we get into it, of course, my two favorite Discords above me, swupdx for Pacific Northwest area Star Wars general discourse, and of course, the Nightsisters, a welcoming place for women into Star Wars Unlimited. We'll have links to all of that. We're going to have so many links in this. So check out the description if you are curious about anything. And of course, you can always message me or comment, all that fun stuff. Okay, so that's all said and done. Anyway, Jar Jar format. So this is an extremely cool multiplayer, janky shared deck format where we use one big giant deck. I went over sort of the general bits about how this works on my other video. Again, check that one out if you want details. So in this one, we're going to get into what exactly is in there, why is it in there, what to do with it. We've got my deck list here. Palpatine, obviously, is just the placeholder leader. We don't use him. We are using Lake Country. Every single person is using Lake Country. So we have, quote, 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 8 ground units. We don't actually have 8 ground units. We've got 60 copies of this guy, and he is the focus of the deck, because the whole purpose of the Jar Jar format is to play as many Jar Jars as possible, to have that random attack going, and just encouraging more attacks, more attacks, more attacks. The original version of this deck, like I said, that I got off of Reddit, was a much more like straight-faced, I guess, Twin Suns sort of deck. There were Sentinels, there was removal, and I played it and I'm like, this is fun, but what if we made it weirder? And by weirder, I mean we want to use Jar Jar to do the removal. We want to encourage as many Jar Jar attacks as possible. We just want as many times as we turn Jar Jar sideways and try to figure out where that on attack damage is going. That's what we want with this format. So Jar Jar for 2 is a 2/3 Gungun on attack, deal 2 damage to a random unit or base. And like we said in the teaching video, he gains the additional ability to pilot things. So Jar Jar can be considered a pilot. Again, normal piloting rules apply, so you can only have 1 Jar Jar on any particular thing, unless it's the Millennium Falcon from JTL. And Jar Jar will give whatever he is piloting +2, +3, and the random attack ability. So we have a ton of Jar Jars. We've got 1 copy of the Misa Propose unit. You can't plot it out. I just put it in here for fun and because it interacts with the other cards that mention the name Jarjarbinks on them. And I just think it's fun to get that momentary buff. But like I've been saying, if we get a Jar Jar leader, then for sure we're going to rethink this format and you'll probably be able to plot out this Jar Jar. So what else is in here besides all these Jar Jars? We have a ton of vehicles. The vehicles are in there to be piloted by Jar Jar and to encourage further randomness and swapping stuff around. So on the ground, we've got the Stolen Land Speeder. It's a 3/2 when played. If you played this unit from your hand, an opponent takes control of it. Bounty, if you own this unit, play it from your discard pile for free and give an experience token to it. So the person that plays a card originally is the one that owns it. And when it's in the discard, it's still considered to be owned by the original player unless it gets shuffled back into the deck. So this one, obviously, we play it, we attack with a Jar Jar. Hopefully Jar Jar's random damage kills it, and then we can get it back and stick our own Jar Jar on it. The Katana. So this is the first card that we're seeing here that takes advantage of one of the other highlights of this format for me, When it references a trait that is not vehicle, it references the trait Gungun. So Katana basically says, when played and on attack, the next Gungan unit you play this phase costs 1 less. We're going to be trying to play Gungan units every turn. We want to keep playing Jar Jars, so Katana makes it easier to play more Jar Jars. ATDP Occupier, it's a 3/4. It costs 1 less to play for each damaged ground unit. We're going to have so many damaged ground units. Jar Jar's random attack ability is going to be sprinkling damage everywhere. And this gets overwhelmed. So, you stick a Jar Jar on here. It swings for 5. It's pretty good to run into things. Also worth noting, if you didn't get it in the teach video, we don't care about aspect penalties. You just pay whatever the numerical cost is. So we're going to have rainbow stuff in this deck. It's fine. It's going to be awesome. The Scavenging Sandcrawler, this is a new one from Lawless Time. 1/7 on attack, you may put a card from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck if you do create a credit token. So this does a couple cool things. It gives us a huge butt because you stick a Jar Jar on here. That is a 3/10, so getting rid of it's going to be hard. And since the discard pile is shared by everyone, it means that likely there will be stuff to put from the discard pile onto the bottom of the deck to make credits for you. Also great. The AAT Incinerator. Hey, oh my gosh, it's just like in the movie or the show or whatever. So when played, deal 1 damage to each of up to 4 other ground units. If no friendly units were damaged by this ability, deal 2 damage to your base. We like this because it's more random damage going around. Things are getting hit by Jar Jars. This thing's going to hit stuff all over the place. You're always taking gambles whenever you swing, and having the AAT out there makes it even more exciting. War Juggernaut, again, same kind of thing. It gets huge when there's damaged units, and when played, you get to damage a whole bunch of units. You stick Jar Jar on there, you swing for at least 5, probably more. It's just ridiculous. So again, part of the reason that there's not going to be much removal in here is that we are encouraging people to make the decisions about when do I attack with Jar Jar? What if Jar Jar damages my base? Or if Jar Jar damages himself on attack? That's part of the fun and the chaos of this format. We got a whole ton of space units. The Soulless one, customized for Grievous. You mean customized for Jarjarbinks? It is a 1/2 for 1. On attack, you may exhaust a friendly Gungun or Jarjarbinks. Pretty much the same thing. If you do, this unit gets +2/+0. So exhaust a Jar Jar, buff this thing's attack. It's pretty cool. Black 1, while this unit is upgraded, which it has to be in order for you to attack with it because this is the Jar Jar format, it gets +1/+0. So you're swinging for 5 once there's a Jar Jar piloting this. On attack, if you control Jarjarbinks, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. So Black 1 gets juiced the heck up in Jar Jar. Oh my gosh. Inferno 4, when played and when defeated, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. It's a shared deck. We're getting intel on what other people are possibly getting. Put any number of them on the bottom of your deck and the rest on top in any order. So this is interesting also because of the particulars of the format regarding regroup phase. So Inferno 4 lets you rearrange the top of the deck. So if you think you're going to have initiative, you're going to be able to get those cards. But if you don't think you're going to have initiative, then you can mess it up for somebody else. You can deny them getting more Jar Jars. You can stack it with vehicles that maybe if you know they don't have a Jar Jar to pilot those vehicles with, then then screw you again, buddy. It's just really interesting considering the deck is shared. Inspector Shuttle, oh my gosh, I love this so much. When played, name a card, then an opponent reveals their hand. For each copy of the named card in their hand, give an experience token to this unit. You name Jarjarbinks, you get a whole ton of experience on it. You stick a Jar Jar on it, life is good. This is like one of the best turn 1 plays in this deck. Like, I love that the Inspector Shuttle seems like it is made to play Jar Jar with. Mercenary Gunship, 3/2 that someone can pay 4 to take control of. Any player may use this ability. So you stick a Jar Jar on this, you're swinging for a lot, but somebody might steal it. I just love the idea of things getting passed around the table. That's exactly what this format wants. We want everybody fighting over a mercenary gunship with a Jar Jar on it. Outland Tie Vanguard, when played, you may give an experience token to another unit that costs 3 or less. Well, Jar Jar is certainly a 3 or less unit, but just being able to say, surprise, this other thing gets more experience, it's pretty good. It's pretty good for a cheap unit. The Rickety Quad Jumper. Y'all know I love the Rickety Quad Jumper, even though most of the time it does me dirty. On attack, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's not a unit, give an experience token to another unit. So there's enough top deck manipulation in here that this can hopefully get some experience for you. But even so, it's just another fun element of randomness and giving intel to the whole table. Chancellor's Shuttle. Well, I believe you mean Jar Jar Shuttle. Restore 1. 1/3 when defeated. If you control Jarjarbinks, you may give an experience token to a unit. So super useful because you're going to have a Jar Jar out, most likely. Disabling Thing Fighter. Well, obviously this is to get a pesky Jar Jar pilot off of somebody else's vehicle so it can't attack. Just straight up just neutralizes it. We love it. Ebon Hawk. On attack, you may disclose heroism and or villainy. If you disclosed heroism, this gets +2/+0 for this attack. If you disclosed villainy, give the defender -4/-0 for this attack. So we're running a deck with both heroism and villainy. We can get pretty much like so much more out of the Ebon Hawk. I know that this is a more expensive card right now, so I'd suggest if you want to get this one out of here, the new Millennium Falcon from Lawless Time would be an excellent substitute. Let's just get that one up really quick. So we are talking specifically about Millennium Falcon dodging patrols, which debuffs space units and buffs ground units. So this one, this is a super cheap one. This is an uncommon. So yeah, that'd be a good one to put in if you don't have or don't want to use the Ebon Hawk. The Elite P-38 Starfighter, when played and when defeated, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. Love this one. We're spreading damage around. The Getaway Freighter. Oh my gosh. On attack, if you control a ground unit, create a credit token. So you will hopefully have a Jar Jar on the ground. Getting credits means getting more Jar Jars out, which is what we want. The Magna Guard Wing Leader. I love this one. Action, attack with a Gungun unit, then attack with another Gungun unit. Use this ability only once each round. So we get extra swings with Gungans. You don't even need to have a Jar Jar on this to activate that ability. You just need to have this out. So Millennium Falcon, get out and push. This is one of those cards in this deck. If you can get this one out, it's just absolute just chaos. 3/4 for 3. You may play or deploy 1 additional pilot on this unit. This unit gets +1/+0 for each pilot on it. Oh yeah, you can put 2 Jar Jars on this. And if you put 2 Jar Jars on this, that means on attack, you get the random damage ability twice. It's just so good. Oh my gosh. This is something that the original Reddit post also made mention of, and I have to agree with them. This is like one of the best cards in this deck. It's so much fun. Mist Hunter. It's a 3/4 on attack. If you played a Gungan or pilot card this phase, you may draw a card. Well, you're going to be playing Gungans. You're going to want card draw. Card draw is great. It means more Jar Jars to play. Red 5, Running the Trench. On attack, you may deal 2 damage to a damaged unit. This is a really fun one because you choose the order of your on-attack abilities. So if you have Jar Jar piloting this in order to attack, it means you can see where Jar Jar's random damage goes first, and then if it goes to an advantageous target, then you can use Red 5 to do even more to it. Soulless 1, Swift and Agile. On attack, you may disclose Cunning, Villainy. If you do, ready 2 resources. Do y'all see I'm wearing my cunning hat? Yeah. Best aspect in Star Wars. Yeah. So Jar Jar is a double cunning card. So all you need is 1 Jar Jar and 1 villainy card in your hand, and you are going to be readying 2 resources every time you swing with this, which, by the way, this is a 5/6 with a Jar Jar on it. It's big. So yeah, Soulless 1 is another one of those cards that I feel like is slept on. But in this, I think it's real cool. Overcharged Transport. This is another new one. When played and when defeated, you may defeat an upgrade attached to a space unit. I mean, that's somebody else's Jar Jar pilot. Get that Gungan out of here. Razor Crest Reliable Gunship. It's got Restore 2, always nice. When played, you may return an upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. Again, it is a shared discard pile. We have a buttload of upgrades in here. And oh my gosh, Jar Jar is a pilot, so Jar Jar is also an upgrade, which is super clutch. I think that's how that works. If I'm getting this wrong, please correct me on this. I'm pretty sure the Razor Crest allows you to get pilots out of the discards, but if it doesn't, well, it doesn't. I always thought the piloting rules were a little bit funky. I'm pretty sure it works like this. Red Leader form up. This unit costs 1 less to play for each friendly pilot unit and upgrade. Well, you mean Gungans. I mean, if we got Gungans, this thing is super cheap. And when a pilot upgrade, when a Gungan attaches to this unit, create an X-Wing token. So yeah, this gets discounted for having Jar Jars out. Yes, please. Black Squadron Scout Wing. When you play an upgrade on this unit, you may attack with this unit. It gets +1/+0 for this attack. So you bring it out, you stick a Jar Jar on it, you attack for 4, 5, 6, 7 plus the random damage. That's pretty stinking good. Corvus, we gotta have the Corvus in here. When played, you may attach a friendly pilot unit or upgrade to this unit. So if you've got a Jar Jar that's on the verge of death, that maybe hit himself too many times, you play the Corvus, you're like, hey Jar Jar, hop on aboard, dude. Super cool. Slaver's Freighter. When played, you may ready another unit with power equal to or less than the number of upgrades on enemy units. So if a couple people have Jar Jars piloting things, you play this, and you just ready one of your Jar Jars. Like, it's not the most exciting, but like this is one of those cards that I always feel had potential back when it came out in Shadows, and I like seeing it used. The U-Wing Lander, when played, give 3 experience tokens to this unit. When this unit completes an attack and survives, you may attach an upgrade on this unit to another eligible friendly vehicle unit. You are passing your Jar Jar pilots around with this. Super, super cool. Relentless Fire Spray. On attack, ready this unit. Use this ability only once per round. So if we can get to this point in the game, or you can get a few credits to stick a Jar Jar on this and get that double attack, that double random damage. Mwah, chef's kiss. Invisible Hand. When played and when it completes an attack, you may search the top 8 cards of your deck for a Gungan unit, reveal it, and draw it. If it costs 2 or less, which Jar Jar does, you may play it for free. So obviously, to get the attacks, you got to pilot this with a Jar Jar. But even when played, that's like getting a free Jar Jar. I love this so much. I love it, love it, love it. We did play some test games where we said that you could get vehicles out, and this is one of the reasons I said in the teaching video that breaks the game. You can't use vehicles. You have to get Gungans only when you are swapping out traits here, like droid. Don't worry, it's still real fun and cool. Vermilion Kira's Auction House. This is like one of the best Twin Suns cards that I've seen in Lawless Time. I think it's excellent in this deck. When attack ends, if this unit survived, reveal the top card of a deck. Well, there's only the one. Then choose a player. They may play the revealed card for free. If they do, a different player creates credit tokens equal to that card's cost. So we really get to do some gnarly table manipulation stuff. Considering that we all play off of the same deck, it's just interesting decisions to have to make when everybody can see what's going on. Invasion Control Ship. Friendly Gungans get raid 2. Awesome. And the Vigil. If damage would be dealt to another friendly unit, prevent 1 of that damage. If damage would be dealt to this unit by another card, deal that much damage +1 instead. So obviously, this helps your Jar Jars survive their own random attacks. Their own random on-attack deal damage ability. Of course, yeah, you don't want this to get hit by your random damage ability, but oh my gosh, come on, y'all. Like, this is such a cool card in here. And plus, the Vigil is like super cheap because it's not one of those cards that's considered competitively viable. I mean, look at this, a dollar. Oh yeah, that's worth $1. Okay, we got a ton of events in here. A fine addition. If an enemy unit was defeated this phase, play an upgrade from your hand or from any player's discard pile, ignoring its aspect penalty. So the shared discard pile, we get upgrades. I know for a fact this one lets you play pilots. So this is just like, oh, I get a free Jar Jar on a vehicle. Okay, yeah, I mean, I have to pay 2 for it. You know what I mean? It's just like fishing out of the discards for something good. Medal Ceremony, give an experience token to each of up to 3 Gungun units that attacked this phase. Salvage, play a vehicle unit from your discard pile, then deal 1 damage to it. So this just gets you stuff out of the shared discard pile that's everybody's going to be dumping in there as it dies to random Jar Jar damage. Confiscate, defeat an upgrade. I mean, yes, it's probably going to be a Jar Jar on a vehicle, but there's more upgrades in here, as you will soon see. Following the path, search the top 8 cards of your deck for up to 2 Gungan units, reveal them, put them on top of your deck in any order. Awesome. Stack the deck if you think you are going to get initiative, or just kind of mess with things if you think someone's already got a lot of Jar Jars and you want to deny them options. Give in to your anger. This is one of those cards that says, we just want as much chaos and randomness as possible. Deal 1 damage to an enemy unit. Its controller's next action this phase must be an attack action with that unit. If able, it must attack a unit if able. So in a format where everything is super random, this is really fun. Just to say, nope, you are swinging with a Jar Jar. Niman Strike, attack with a Gungan unit. Even if it's exhausted, it gets +1/+0 and can't attack bases for this attack. Great. Another way of getting extra random damage swinging. Psychometry. Choose another card in your discard pile. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card that shares a trait with the chosen card. Reveal it and draw it. So yeah, I guess you can use that with some of the events in here if you know what traits they have. If you're like, oh, well, maybe there's another learned event, but come on, like we're using this for Gungans. We're using this for Gungans. Putting a team together. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for a vigilance, aggression, or cunning unit. Reveal it and draw it. You know what a cunning unit is? It's Jar Jar. Guaranteed Jar Jar, basically. 150 card deck, 60 Jar Jars. Odds are good there's going to be 1 in those 8 cards if you really need it. Rebel Assault. No, Gungan Assault. Attack with a Gungan unit. It gets +1/+0 for this attack. Then attack with another Gungan unit. It gets +1/+0 for this attack. Awesome. And even more awesome, Shin Flurry. Play a Gungan unit from your hand. Gains ambush for this phase. The next time it would be dealt damage this phase. Prevent 2 of that damage. So if you get unlucky and randomly shoot yourself, then Shin Flurry will prevent that for you. Super cool. The Burden of Masters. Put a Gungan unit from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck. If you do, play a unit from your hand and give 2 experience to it. This is great. There's going to be Gungans in the discard, and you for sure are going to be able to get this to go off. And honestly, like paying 1 to get 2 experiences on a Jar Jar, pretty sweet. The Eye of Aldani. At the start of the next action phase for each enemy unit, its controller must pay 1 or exhaust that unit. I mean, we're still playing Twin Suns here. We want to use Eye of Aldani. There's not very much exhaust in here. So, like, having a little bit is just fine for 1, like, screw everybody else sort of turn. But we don't want to have that going on the whole time here. Transmission Jamming. Name a card. Cards of that name can't be played this phase. No Jar Jars. Sorry, y'all. No one gets a Jar Jar this phase. Wartime Profiteering. Look at cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of units that were defeated this phase. Draw 1 and put the others on the bottom of your deck in a random order. So this messes with everyone else, denies other people things that you think will be good for them, and allows you to profit from a turn where Jar Jars are dying left and right here. A New Adventure. Return a non-leader unit that costs 6 or less to its owner's hand. Then its owner may play it for free. So this can be thought of as a way of just resetting the damage on a Jar Jar, but also it can get you some when played abilities. It can get a Jar Jar off of somebody else's vehicle if it's becoming super problematic. There's just a lot of fun ways of using this card in this deck. Clear the field. Choose a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less. Return it and each enemy non-leader unit with the same name as it to their owner's hands. Yeah. So this is like a Jar Jar only board wipe. I love it. 2 to get all Jar Jars gone. Yes. Yes, please. Eject, detach a pilot upgrade, move it to the ground arena as a unit, and exhaust it, draw a card. So this is a fun way of denying somebody a swing with one of their vehicles. Yeah, they're going to have a Jar Jar in the ground arena, but like it's going to be exhausted. You're not going to be able to do anything with it for a while. And it gets you card. Like, love that. I love this card. I love having a chance to play it in something. Focus determines reality. Each friendly Gungan unit gains raid 1 and saboteur for this phase. Heck yes. Yes, please. I want that. Headhunting. Attack with 3 units. They can't attack bases for these attacks. Each Gungan that attacks this way gets +2/+0 for its attack. So this is just a total onslaught. If you've got like 3 Jar Jars here, you are going to lay waste to the board. It could be you. You can end up killing all your own guys, but who knows? Maybe you won't. In the heat of battle. So you may have noticed there's not really much in the ways of Sentinel here, so no one is going to expect this. When you play, each unit gains Sentinel and loses Saboteur for this phase. Yeah, let's just like have a few little monkey wrenches thrown in there. Keep fighting. Ready a unit with 3 or less power. That's Jar Jar, baby. Let's attack with them again. Craze Whispers. Draw 3 cards, then put a card from your hand on the top of your deck and another card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. Another one of those cards that says, let's mess with what we want to have in the deck. Let's mess with the other people's options. It just lets you tamper with things, and it's so cool. Let the Wookiee win. This is another one of my pet cards that back in Shadows, I really wanted this to work, and it never really panned out. But now, let the Gungan win. So an opponent chooses one, you ready up to 6 resources, or you ready a friendly unit. If it's a Gungan unit, attack with it. It gets +2/+0 for this attack. So those are both pretty awesome in here. We love letting the Gungan win. Although honestly, y'all, maybe we make a Chewie Eternal deck at some point and stick that in here. I'm just like thinking out loud. I'm just like, would this be good with the new Chewbacca leader in an Eternal format? Maybe. We'll come back to that. Spark of Hope. Choose a unit in your discard pile. If it was defeated this phase, put it into play as a resource. Not a friendly unit, any unit in your discard pile. I love this. So you can use somebody else's death to ramp you with this card. Yes, please. I love this. This is the way. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for up to 2 Gungan and or upgrade cards. Reveal them and draw them. So this is like one of the best tutoring cards in the game in this format. Gets you pay 2 to get 2 Jar Jars or 2 upgrade cards. Like you can start to see on the list, we've got 20 upgrades in this deck. So like you see, this is the way you take it. Evidence of the crime. Take control of an upgrade that costs 3 or less and attach it to an eligible unit of your choice. I mean, yes, it could be like an experience or a shield or one of the aforementioned upgrades down here, but that can also be a Jar Jar that's piloting something. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I am your father. Deal 7 damage to an enemy unit unless its controller says no. No! If they do draw 3 cards. So card draw is great. Removal is great. This is one of the few removal cards in this game because it's wacky and it gives extra options. So that's what we want in this format. And speaking of removal, that gives us what we want in this format. No disintegrations. Deal damage to a non-leader unit equal to 1 less than its remaining HP, which is very fun because there's always that chance that if you damage a Jar Jar with this, he'll attack and just kill himself. Like, yes. Yes, please. Always 2. Like, yeah, we got to reference the Sith stuff in here at least a little bit. Okay. Choose 2 friendly, unique Gungan units. If you do, give 2 shield tokens and 2 experience tokens to each chosen unit. Defeat all other friendly units. So yeah, you get 2 Gungans out there. You always 2 them. They get much harder to deal with. Love it. Calculated lethality. Finally, we get to use calculated lethality in a deck, y'all. Oh my goodness. Defeat a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less, like a Jar Jar. For each upgrade that was on that unit, give an experience token to a friendly unit. So yeah, That's just so fun if a Jar Jar is totally roided up with a pile of lightsabers or something. Or you use it on a cheap vehicle that has a Jar Jar pilot on it. There's a lot of different applications for calculated lethality in this deck. And I say, yeah, bring it on. Yeah, you knew this was going to be in here. Impropriety among thieves. Choose a ready, non-leader unit controlled by each player. If you do, each player takes control of the chosen unit controlled by the player to their right. At the start of the regroup phase, each player takes control of each unit they own that was chosen for this ability. So I love this card in Twin Suns. Y'all know I love this card in Twin Suns, but in here, absolute chaos. Oh my gosh, love it so much. Luminous Beings, put up to 3 Gungun units from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck in a random order. Give that many units +4/+4 for this phase. It's expensive. It's 6 resources, but if there's 3 Gungans in the shared discard pile, then that is big buffs. That is just big buffs for your boys. And of course, I had no choice. Like, yeah, we have to have this in here. Come on. Choose up to 2 non-leader units. An opponent chooses one of those units. Return that unit to its owner's hand and put the other on the bottom of its owner's deck. Again, our shared deck. This is one of those cards that I'd always try to find uses for. And yeah, I think it works in here. We got a bunch of upgrades. So a lot of these take advantage of one of the other quirks of the Jar Jar format, that anytime a card references somebody's name, it means Jarjarbinks. So we've got Jar Jar's Padawan lightsaber attached to a non-vehicle unit. When played, if attached unit is Jarjarbinks, you may attack with a unit. Oh yeah, yes please. Bounty Hunter's Quarry, attached unit gains bounty. Search the top 5 cards of your deck, or 10 cards instead if this unit is unique, like Jar Jar, for a unit that costs 3 or less, and play it for free, like Jar Jar. So yeah, free Jar Jar for attacking a Jar Jar. Yes, please. Foresight, attached unit gains when the regroup phase starts. Name a card, then look at the top card of your deck. If it's the name card, you may reveal and draw it. Oh, I'm going to look through my deck. Oh, it's going to be a Jar Jar Binks on top. Oh, man. I'm a genius. I love this card. Yeah, you're going to have a pretty good chance of hitting with it. Jedi Holocron, attached to a Gungan unit. Attached unit gains on attack. You may heal 3 damage from another unit. So with the way that the on attacks work, you can do your random damage first. If it hits one of your units, hopefully not the one with the Holocron on it, then you can heal it. Jedi Trials, attached to a Gungan unit. Attached unit gains on attack. Give an experience token to this unit. While attached unit has 4 or more upgrades on it, it gains the Gungan trait. I know, it's incredibly stupid. I know no one's ever said this wasn't incredibly stupid. This card in the games of this that I've played gets out of hand so fast. I love it. And who doesn't like having a Gungan become a Gungan? It's like the power was within them all along. Am I right? Watchful. Attached unit gains on attack. Look at the top card of a deck. You may put it on the bottom of that deck. And it makes the butt bigger. So yeah, this just lets us filter the deck again, which is always good. Armed to the teeth. Attached unit gains on attack. Give another friendly unit +2/+0 for this phase. Of course, we got that smuggle in there. Yeah, we're arming our Jar Jars to the teeth here, people. We're making them all bigger. Brutal Traditions. This one is so much fun to fight over. Action, if an enemy unit was defeated this phase, play this upgrade from your discard pile. So, yeah, everyone kind of gets to fight over Brutal Traditions here. I love it. So once this goes in the discard pile, it's kind of like fair game, where everyone looks at each other and is like, I want that Brutal Traditions. Darth Jar Jar's lightsabers. Attached to a non-vehicle unit. If attached unit is a Gungan, it gains grit. Love it. I love it. And the fact that you could possibly grit yourself up by hitting yourself with random damage. Mwah. Yes, please. The Death Star plans. Yeah, of course. We got to have Death Star plans in here. When attached unit is attacked, the attacking player takes control of this upgrade and attaches it to a unit they control. Attached unit gains the first unit you play each round, costs 2 less. That's a free Jar Jar, baby. I've thought before about what would this game be like if you got to start with a copy of Death Star plans in your hand. It might be a little bit wild, but again, you can tweak this to suit your needs. Inspiring Mentor, attached to a non-vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack, and when defeated, give an experience token to another friendly unit. Again, it's one of those that makes other Jar Jars into a huge problem. Jar Jar's lightsaber, he's got a lot of lightsabers. When played, if attached unit is jarjarbinks, heal all damage from him and give a shield token to him. Oh my gosh. Jar Jar's lightsaber. When played, if attached unit is jarjarbinks, draw 2 cards. Jar Jar's lightsaber. When played, if attached unit is jarjarbinks, you may deal 4 damage to a ground unit. Oh my gosh, the lightsabers are so good. Maybe he is a Sith Lord after all. Creditor's Claim. Attached unit gains when defeated. You may defeat a unit with 3 or less remaining HP. That's casting a pretty wide net there. We're going to find something to kill with this. Jar Jar's lightsaber. If attached unit is Jar Jar Binks, you may attack with him. For this attack, he gains Overwhelm and can't attack bases. Such a cool one. Disciple's Devotion. While attached unit is exhausted, it gains Sentinel and +1/+3, one of the few Sentinel cards in here. I think it's way more fun without the Sentinels. But again, you want to put more Sentinels in there to see how it goes, feel free. There's there's a few vehicle Sentinels. There's even more with the new set. I think, what is it called? Alkenzi Patroller is one. Oh yeah, Academy Defense Walker, Alkenzi Patroller. Just like a ton of good options. So yeah, I just kind of like it more without all the Sentinels. Size matters not. If you control a Gungun unit, this upgrade costs 1 less to play. Attached unit's printed power is considered to be 5, and its printed HP is considered to be 5. So you take a 2/3 Gungan, you turn it into a 5/5 Gungan. Oh my gosh, I love this card. Jar Jar's Rifle. If attached unit is Jar Jar Binks, he captures an exhausted enemy non-leader unit. Yes, please. And of course, we got Jar Jar's Wheel Bike. When playing this upgrade on Jar Jar Binks, it costs 1 less to play and gets +3/+3 in Overwhelm. So yeah, that's all the stuff that's in my Jar Jar deck. And like I was saying, this is not a hard and fast rule here on what goes in here. This is going to be a living format. Like, I'm going to change this every time we get new cards for stuff that goes well in this deck. I don't think I want it to be bigger than 150 cards because, well, number one, I need to shuffle it. Like, y'all saw the teaching video. That is just a giant block of stuff to have to deal with. But also, like, I want to have a reasonable chance at not getting a giant clump of Jar Jars or not getting a bunch of cards that aren't Jar Jars. So like, what else could we have in here? Well, Stolen AT Hauler is one of those cards that's really great in here, but that card's super expensive. Again, the Liberty, another super expensive card that could be good in there. There's just like so many different things. Like, maybe we have more capture in here. Maybe you put more traditional removal in there. I mean, more stuff that readies units could be good. Like, there's a lot of different options. Bright Hope could be a good one, because, you know, Bright Hope, you play it, you bring a Jar Jar back to your hand, you draw another card, you put Jar Jar on the Bright Hope, bing, bing, boom, you got a 4/9 that's Sentinel. So yeah, there's so many different things that you can do with this. Maybe you go extra upgrade heavy and just stick every single like weapon item on there. You put like a Vambrace flamethrower on Jar Jar. Like, there's so many different cool things. So I'd love to know, what else would you put in this deck? Have you gotten a chance to play this? I mean, like, I've talked about this locally with some people. I've played it locally with some people. I know that this is a format that's been floating around on Reddit for the past like 5 months or so. So it's like, you know, I can't be the only one that's been playing Jar Jar. Like I said in the teaching video, I will have this with me at Galactics because it is like one of the most JankTech kinds of formats. Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun and so interesting. And I've been having a ball getting to play this. Yeah, and let me know if y'all want to see some games of this. Like, I'm tending towards doing a video with some gameplay, but like, it's always nice to know what people are thinking of. Anyway, that's going to do it for me this time. So until next time, let's do this again.